Right. Hello, Wisdom. How are we? Welcome to the Stephen Shields radio show right now. I thought today I'd get on this amazing platform and, host a podcast because I love my show. Having some green tea at the moment. Weather right now is 16 degrees Celsius. It's going to be a top of 17 degrees Celsius, a low of 7 degrees Celsius. It's sunny today. Precipitation 0%. Humidity 37%. Wind 23 kilometers an hour right now. So it's Saturday for me, the 11th of June 2022. I'm here right now and just chilling on Wisdom, this amazing platform, and getting to talk to y'all about society and culture, because that's what the Stephen Shields radio show is all about. Society and culture, that. Yes. You've probably been noticing that been talking a lot about shadow banning as well, and finding that, despite the negative energy that's in the world right now, I'm always wanting to, pursue my passion. 300 YouTube videos, 300 uploads. It's a huge success. I already feel like I'm a success at the moment. I feel like I'm the best in the world. Really feel great, and just want to keep going. To keep on, staying strong. And there's nothing wrong with having hope in life as well. Hope can get you into a lot of places, having faith. Finding that what I am doing, what I am doing in life, what I am achieving is what success will feel to me. That. So I thought today I wanted to talk about, finding your soul true purpose, how to overcome negative energy. Now, there's a lot of negative energy in the world. There are negative people in the world. Okay. Negative people should be cut out of your life completely. Negative influences should be cut out of your life completely. And I'll tell you this, when I was growing up as a young man, I used to hang around the wrong people, wrong influences, the bad influence. And that got me nowhere. That made things even hard for me, made things even hard. Now, I'm here on a beautiful application called Wisdom that has a lot of true potential, because I see a future in wisdom. The best that you can do, despite negative energy, is to go and make a change for the world. I look up to people like Elon Musk, who's a very successful billionaire, being able to send rockets into space. That is so cool. That is so cool and amazing. And I hope that the space industry can come to Australia. I think they're going to start launching rockets into space from the Northern Territory in Australia. Now, that'd be amazing if Australia got into the space race. How cool would that be? How cool would that be, guys, when Australia finally said yes? Negative people should be cut out of your life completely. Negative influences should be cut out of your life completely. And I'll tell you this, when I was growing up as a young man, I used to hang around the wrong people, wrong influences, the bad influence. And that got me nowhere. That made things even hard for me. made things even hard. Now, I'm here on a beautiful application called Wisdom that has a lot of true potential. Because I see a future in wisdom. The best that you can do, despite negative energy, is to go and make a change for the world. I look up to people like Elon Musk, who's a very successful billionaire, being able to send rockets into space. That is so cool. That is so cool and amazing. And I hope that the space industry can come to Australia. I think they're going to start launching rockets into space from the Northern Territory in Australia. Now, that'd be amazing if Australia got into the space race. How cool would that be? How cool would that be, guys? When Australia finally says, yes, we are sending astronauts into orbit. Who knows? There is a vision right there. And I suppose that when you have a vision for your soul's true purpose, things open up for you. Things shall manifest for you. You know? Because, when you want to chase that dream, you go and get that dream what you want. If it's getting 100% on your college paper, go for it. Take it, get it, do it, tick it off as a goal. It's good to have goals. I use a goal-setting app at the moment that helps basically keep me on track. It's called Strides. I will reference Strides in the show notes. And the thing is, with a great goal-setting app called Strides, it's amazing because it helps keep me on track to what I want to achieve. We look at all the great masters and influencers out there. Albert Einstein, Nikola Tesla, all had a vision, all had a purpose to achieve success, no matter if it was a Great Depression. No matter if it was an economic crisis, it's not going to stop you from going out and getting what you want. Because what you project to the universe, you attract. A lot of us don't even realize that we are manifesting. Now, this is just my opinion, guys. You don't have to believe in manifestation. That's fine. I respect that. the way I feel as a content creator, and my show, the Stephen Shields radio show, there is purpose. I have value. I give value to the podcast. I love sitting down and having a tea or a coffee and, being able to share my wisdom to the world and my passion and my calling for you. Because all I ever try to do is just be honest with everyone. I'm an honest person, right? I don't talk shit. I act on the theory. Okay. Without acting on the theory, you get nowhere. We can read all the spiritual books in our life. We can, go to all the spiritual seminars. We can, take all the wisdom and the knowledge in the world and still get nowhere in life. I've always felt that to know who I really am has taken me like 28 years of my life to, find the real me, to find who I am. That when you look at the greatest entrepreneurs out there, all had a vision, visualizing their intention. When you listen to the great of Louise Hay and, Wayne Dyer, audio recording, the affirmations that you put into your mind is what gives you power of the subconscious mind, because the subconscious mind is there and people can deny it all they want, but it's there. So there's ways in what I like to do in, powering my subconscious mind, and that's affirmations. Especially during the night, you can play your affirmations, even record them in your own voice, and loop it around. That's another way you can do. You can also, look at, journaling your intention, your goals, or your business goals, your spiritual goals, your relationship goals in life. You can also look at articles written by great spiritual teachers. You know, Muji is one, Sadhguru is one, Deepak Chopra is one, Louise Hay, Wayne Dyer has some brilliant, fantastic books as well. Because positive energy is what attracts your clients and attracts your customers. Negative energy will only decrease value in your business and in your life. So when you have positive, uplifting energy, you will find things work better for you in your journey and your path. You see? I suppose we can talk about the issue of music as well. As you know me, I'm a musician, I'm a content creator. But it is proven that, negative lyrics, especially lyrics in general, can have consequences on your mental health, like heavy metal. Now, I love metal, but there's some heavy metal which I just think is just garbage, like that screamo shit. Like, I have no idea what you're going on about, and they just play everything in drop B, and it sounds like shit to my ears. It's just garbage. I don't even know how there's a market for that. I don't know if bands do this as a marketing procedure. But you got to think, well, is what I'm listening to going to be safe for my mind and help me achieve what I want to get in life? You know, because what you put into the mind can affect you a lot. And like I said before, we all have bad bad days. You know that bad days happen all the time. But it's how we deal with bad days. It's all about, well, how do we look after ourselves on a bad day? With mental health crisis and the Australian healthcare system that's under so much stress because of COVID and the pandemic, and our nurses and doctors and healthcare professionals are walking off the job because they just can't handle the stress in emergency. Ambulance in Australia are always behind schedule. When you read it in the Sydney Morning Herald. And I'd like to invite anyone who's listening that wants to come on stage and say hi, to be on the Stephen Shields radio show, wherever you are tuning in from. And let me know how you finding your soul true purpose and how you overcome a negative energy in life. Because this is what wisdom's about. Wisdom's about helping one another. You know, it's not all about having a debate and finding who's right and who's wrong and he said this, she said that. You know, although I might get a bit up, you know, what do they call it? Rant when I get on my show, but I hope I'm not offending anyone by ranting. I'm just ranting about what I read on the news because I do take attention to journalism now at my age of 28. I like to see, well, the two sides to the story. Think about that. There's two sides to every story. And what you want to be, what you want to achieve. Bob Baker was doing I think it was a 21-day affirmation challenge by Bob Baker. And in the affirmation, it was, I don't chase, I attract. Now think about that. I don't chase, I attract. So if you keep chasing and chasing, what you are trying to attract just keeps running away. Let the manifestation come to you. You still got to put the work in. Don't think of like Rhonda Byrne's The Secret, that I'm going to sit on my chair and visualize a Ferrari. I mean, Rhonda Byrne's teaching of The Secret was a bastardized version of the law of attraction. It wasn't explained properly. You still got to put the work in. Like all these great entrepreneurs all had a purpose in their life. Henry Ford, Napoleon Hill, you know, Dale Carnegie, Albert Einstein, Abraham Lincoln, Benjamin Franklin, George Washington. They had something in them for success. To be successful in business or politics or entrepreneurship, engineering, etc., music as well. You look at the great music composers like Mozart and Beethoven, who I grew up listening to and studying. And yeah, that's how I got inspired to be a composer for myself.
Hey, Stephen.
Hello, Sonia. How are you? Been a while since I had you on the show.
Yes, yeah.
How you been?
But good. Yourself?
Yeah, I've been good.
So.
I just hit 300 YouTube videos. That's a celebration of mine. 300 episodes of the Stephen Shields radio show, and I'll keep on going.
Nice.
Just keep going.
Yeah.
What about yourself? What have you been doing?
Yeah, kind of been busy, doing stuff.
Yeah. And you still got future travel plans to Australia?
Yeah, I'm hoping maybe end of the year.
Yeah, that would be awesome to get back traveling again. And so what's been happening with you that you want to share? Anything that you've been achieving lately?
Yeah, I have a kind of a book coming out.
Cool.
Yeah. It's kind of like what you're, not really the purpose of, what you're talking about tonight, but something along the line of course, I'm not quite law of attraction, but it is a manifestation, right?
Mm-hmm. Cool. And are you self-publishing that on Amazon, or are you going to do an audio book for that?
Yeah, something along that line. Yeah, both.
That'd be so cool. And if you get an audiobook, are you going to sell it on Audible, or you got any platforms that you're looking at?
Yeah, it's a combination. It can be Audible. I've looked into Audible as well, in terms of, so it's quite interesting, that part too. So
I started publishing articles on Medium.
Yes, that's good.
About music, and that's been fun. I love Medium. I tried other blogging like Tumblr, but just didn't like it. But Medium, at least, if you get to a certain amount of followers, you can monetize your writing, which is pretty cool for any bloggers out there. Have you thought about writing on Medium?
I have an account at Medium. I haven't write anything on Medium, but I will. I mean, it's one of the things that's on the checklist, right? So many stuff that you can do nowadays, right?
I know. Oh no, this new book sounds interesting. What you're doing?
Yeah, it is along the line that I.
And what's your future outcome? Your future goal? Yeah. What's your future outcome for the book? Where do you see it taking you?
Well, I'm just like, this is an honesty and from the heart, right? So it's nothing to do with the goals or anything like that. It's my first one. But I will have a series of another books coming out as well with regards to what I actually do, right? So that's the follow-up. I'm just experimenting with the digital side of things, like in terms of digital creating. And also, what you're doing, yours is YouTube and mine happens to be courses and stuff like that, right? So those are the things that I'm working on. And, I was, of course, seeing your show and, the topic kind of like what attracts me here. So I know you were talking about, law of attraction earlier. I'm like, okay, let's do this, So.
Well, that's the thing about law of attraction, Sonia. I mean, in business, I know there's business people that believe it, some don't. But I was watching a video about Elon Musk about being a startup, and it can be a very lonely journey, and that's why affirmations are important, because there's a lot of people, I'm sure you've had it, tell you that you're never going to make it.
Right.
So
I mean, and those kind of things. It's a self-talk that that for us entrepreneurs, it might stall us for a little bit, but I think because there's that built inside all of us, that drive, because we want to make the business work, right? And finding a way. Of course, we in terms of, we talk about the fails and the learnings and stuff like that, right? So I think those are one of the most wonderful things I'm discovering now, because it speeds up your growth so much, right? Wherever you fail at something. I'm gonna use that word because I think it hits you, and then it like, okay, so what's the lesson behind it, right? Because you're growing too at the same time. So I now learn to accept that's part of the growth, right? Because you don't do the same mistakes, right? That's the idea of it, right? And each time you learn more, and not only do you build up your, whatever the spine, become stronger each time, and until you succeed, right? This is one of we call the journey is part of the process.
Just keep going, Sonia.
Just like what you did, right? Until now, you're like 300 episodes later, and you're still here, and you're still determined to do whatever it is that you need to put out there, right? That is a big congratulations, of course,
Yeah, it's because I love what I do. It gets me up every day.
Yeah, that's the thing, right?
I know in the publishing industry, because are you going to look to get your book published one day by a huge company, or you just self-publishing?
Not at all. Because a lot of things now can be done by ourselves, right? And we can do a print on demand as well, if you haven't looked at that, because the company and connected as buyers orders it, and it'll get it print, or you can download it as an ebook, right?
Mm-hmm.
So those are the two options that you have, and of course the audio version will also be out as well, right? So that's like along a company. So there's a lot of ways that you can do stuff nowadays on your own, right? And
yeah,
coming in.
you know, that's what it is. I really look forward to seeing this new book that you're going to publish. Yeah, I really do.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, I will let you know. Yeah,
And
coming
I
out
hope
sometime next couple of weeks. So I know
yeah,
it's been like I've been kind of thinking and talking, and I'm like I keep changing, right? And some of the things and new things keep developing, and understandings and stuff like that. So I always tweaking it. And I guess one time I just have to pause and say, okay, I was just gonna put it out there, you know.
yeah, just go for it.
The perfection thing going into my brain a little bit, you know.
Yeah, I hope this book, Songya, becomes a worldwide success.
No, and my first one, it's like it's gonna be a little bit interesting, right? But I don't like in terms of I don't have a lot of expectation, but it is an honest kind of thing that I'm putting it out, right? So comes from the heart, the first one, and then of course the series of the other things that are coming up next. And yeah, I look into a lot on Edible as well as Kindles and what you said on Medium. I can show you some of the things that we're doing that's also quite interesting as well. So what do you write on Medium for yourself?
I write about music, my experience with the music industry, like royalties. I'm writing an article about Eminem and how he became successful growing up from poverty to a millionaire.
Awesome.
And he lived a hard life. He had a lawsuit with his mother because of his lyrics, but the judge did nothing. And you think, why would his mother want to take him to court over lyrics?
Yeah. Interesting. Yeah, I didn't know that. But, that is cool thing to do, right? When you're, research and dig into someone's, story. It's quite fascinating as well, right? So it must be a joy to be able to write that up as a, blog.
Yeah, if you tap on my profile, it'll take you to my Medium page, and you can see the articles I've published already. So I give blogging a go. It's a new challenge for me.
Yeah, definitely. And I do have Medium, so I'm gonna follow you. Hold on.
Yeah, and comment on any articles as well, and ask me any questions.
Yeah, I will. Yeah.
But we've seen
a little while. I used to read a lot of articles, but with time and stuff, it's kind of
But writing's. I thought I'll give writing a go.
Yeah,
and that's what
definitely.
I'll do.
I mean, like it's also. Well, you're used to it too, right? You have to sometimes write the script for YouTube and stuff like that, right?
Yeah, funny enough, I don't use scripts. I just,
that's cool. You just talk about it.
I tried scripting a few videos, and the time I got to put in to write the script, and then I talk, and then it's like I sound like a robot.
Yeah, well, I just more like of the outline, like so that way you know the flow a little bit. Yeah, it in your first couple of episodes, you're gonna have to do. For me, anyways, I starting to write scripts now, and once that's done, usually once you get it smoothly, then you can talk free flow, right? But on your first few, I think you still have to do those.
Well, if they work for you, you do what works for you.
For sure, yeah.
Maybe as my channel grows, and I'll get a few script writers, but I mean, I know too much about music. I can just talk like I'm talking now. Like, I don't script my podcast.
Yeah, for me, the podcast is interesting too. This is what I came to know, right? trying to stay within the 10-minute to 15-minute range, and and so it requires a little more precision, right?
So you're keeping your show short and sweet.
And if there is interview, then I would go a little longer, depending on the guests as well, right? So if they're
the hardest thing I find about when I'm doing a show is talking on my own. That's been a challenge for me.
Yeah, and that's why the script kind of help. Not like the outline or the script, however you feel, it's more free, right? So
yeah, I'll give that a go. I'll probably try and outline the points I'm going to make.
Yeah, I like the idea that when you go and research your topic and then you write it up, and then that becomes the same as your kind of like script for your podcast as well, right? So
yeah.
So it's kind of good to do maybe perhaps the blog first, and then, and then you can kind of do a condensed version on it on the podcast, right? So
yeah, that's a good idea as well.
Yeah, and then you can turn it, if it is like a process, then you can turn it into an ebook, right? The idea of that. I will send you this link, and you can do that. Like it's so that way you can also, get, because you have your links, right? And your website and your subscription and all whatever it is that you have to do. Yeah, so I'll send you this one on Instagram better or Twitter?
Instagram.
Yeah, okay. Yeah.
Well, in your opinion, how do you feel about the buyout of Twitter that Elon Musk is going to do?
Yeah, I mean, like, it was interesting, right? I think it was him that came into Wisdom that we get to talk to, right? And,
did it sound like Elon?
Yeah, it does. And when he was talking about Twitter and all of these things, we were not tuned into that, right? Because we're like, it's not, why was like Elon talking about Twitter, right? I'm like, next thing we know is like a couple of months later, it's like he's purchasing Twitter. What the, So it's like, it was quite cool. I think it is him. He is wild enough to do those kind of things. So
yeah, he's awesome.
Yeah, so
I really hope he gets success in this buyout because I want Twitter to change.
Yeah. Well, the thing with that is I was watching his lives on the channels on his YouTubes. And of course, they were talking about, of course, with him and PayPal and all of these things, right? They're trying to and Bitcoin and then Ethereum, all of these things, what's happening there, of course. His idea is to make sure that, in the future that we can use either Bitcoin or those kind of crypto for purchasing Tesla as well, right? And so I was fascinated by how he was going to do that. I know he owns the PayPal as well, but I didn't know how the transition is going to happen. But he has adopted, bring in some technology, people who are in that kind of thing that can possibly develop into that kind of, in terms of the way we use money and the medium of it, right? And, it's going to be, what we are in the future, right? So,
well, that is the future. The news media is whinging that Bitcoin's gone down $1 in value, and then it was I think 10 years ago when I don't know who invented the Bitcoin. He was told, it was never going to succeed, and look where it is now. A worldwide success.
Yeah. I came from the banking industry, and of course, what's happening with the crypto area versus the traditional banking, of course, is quite fascinating for me. And of course, being, in terms of diversification, the NFTs and all of these things that are out there, right? Just watching and also observing. And if you do, for me, I'm always trying to diversify portfolios, right?
How do you feel about the NFT market?
Yeah, it's quite interesting too. It's different for different people. You have the artists, right? And they're doing, some of them are doing really well. And of course, you have, the difference, like the influencers and stuff like that, it is marketing, right? And so if you can kind of have those kind of combination, I kind of look at what Gary Vee is doing with the NFT stuff, right? And because he is like, I always look at him as more like, okay, direct kind of person. So if you want to like listen to some people who's going to talk about NFTs and stuff like that, then, that's one of, at least, just for comparison, right? And you look at the experts, well, I don't know who is exactly the experts, but, it's still relatively new, right? But
I tried the NFT market, but I don't know. I had a hard time opening a simple Bitcoin wallet.
Really?
Yeah, it's just.
What are you using? Like from Australia, I guess.
I think it was that Ethereum or something. And I'm like, what the hell is this? Why so complicated just to open up a Bitcoin wallet?
It depends on what you're using. I mean, like, there's, I know Coinbase has a lot of, like, at least on the English market, right? So I might want to use that one. Binance, I don't know if it's in Australia, but each country has its own stuff and restrictions and stuff like that, right?
Yeah, well, the Australian government was trying to regulate Bitcoin.
Yeah, so the other government, but this has made it so that it can't be, right? Almost.
Yeah. I mean, it's like whenever something becomes successful, the government just wants to get their hand in it.
Yeah. Well, it's about revenue too, right?
It's like Tesla's. I mean, I'm a beginner investor. I think I'm investing in Tesla.
How long ago did you go back?
Yeah.
Because I don't know how much you can afford, but.
But yeah, no, I hope one day that Elon Musk will send astronauts to Mars in the future, because we need to go to Mars, Sonia.
I think we should all fix up Earth. It's still good. Mars is still a long way.
I know. I mean, there's been quite a few shows and documentaries about how space travel would be with private space companies, because that's who's going to fund it. It won't be NASA anymore.
Yeah, to create that condition where we can live is quite a ways out, right? And
apparently it's going to take 1 year to get to Mars and then 1 year to get back to Earth. God, 1 year of space travel.
Right? Because the way the speed of it is still not there yet, right?
I know. I mean, they did experiments with astronauts. Like Scott Kelly stayed 6 months in the space station to see how, your body would react to it.
Yeah.
So how if Elon Musk was going to do that, how can he overcome these challenges? Clearly, you see the rocket is more bigger. It looks good, actually, and they're trying to make a reusable rocket. And why not?
I mean, I haven't followed all the stuff going into space, but it's more like the Bezos and all these billionaires that've gone up into space.
Yeah, their so-called space float for 1 minute, and then we've got to go back to Earth. That's not space. That's nothing.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing, right? How long before we can actually stay and colonize, and then be self-sufficient up there, right? So that's a long way still, right?
Yeah, we got a long way to go, but
But it is good to initiate and stuff like that. But I think also we have to, with all the stuff that's happening, not only the NFTs, the energies that it's using, and of course what we're doing to the planet as well, right? So that's something of a concern as well. I kind of like looking at how much energy are being used to create this blockchain and all of these, system, right? That has all of these things functioning. It's quite huge, right? The energy that's affecting not only our environment, but also, what we're doing to the planet now. And the priority that's being put on Mars and stuff like that. So, in terms of the overall kind of picture, right? So,
well, there is a lot of energy in the blockchain. You get into all these crypto discussions, and they get so complicated. I just think Bitcoin should just be simple.
Yeah, Bitcoin in itself is a fixed unit, right? But the other stuff that are coming up that's going to be interesting, that's the things that we can move around, and the new hybrids of the Bitcoin kind of thing. So if the Bitcoins are fixed, then you can't move too much around. So there has to be some way that, can be other flexibilities built into it. So I think it's all been looked at. I'm not expert at all, and I'm not even a beginner, so I can't even claim to talk about these things. So forgive me if I do that. So anyone else, with expert and want to talk to Steven here, definitely do that, please. Because, I just more listen to what others are saying. Of course, I haven't really, I thought about, of course, with all the excitement and stuff like that, I do look into doing some of the stuff on my own, right? Because it seems so, it seemed easy, but it's not. There's a lot that goes behind it, right? And you have to have, certain, like I said, marketing is important in that. And of course, the people who are doing it is quite interesting as well. I'm looking at more of the behavior and as well as what is it, the content of it as well too, on the NFT side of things, as I'm comparing and seeing which one is success and how can you sustain these kind of things, right? So
well, that's the thing. How do we keep NFTs secure? Because there's a lot of these Bitcoin and NFT scams going around.
For sure. I mean, don't submit it to those kind of anytime you do that, you get calls all over the place. Oh my God, I was so my phone number, it's every day I get at least 2 or 3 calls from, those people. I'm like, oh my gosh, what have I done? Sometimes when you get into something.
Do you get a call from the Nigerian prince?
Yeah, some people around that. I don't know where they're from. It seems like from all over the place. I'm just looking up the area codes for those kind of calls. I'm just curious where it's coming from,
It's probably coming from Uganda or Africa, the Middle East. That's a scam.
Yeah, totally. So I don't really pick up. I just look at the area code and I just oh, where's this one from, Because, if you don't recognize, I really don't really pick it up on the phone calls and stuff. So,
well, it's all about keeping yourself safe.
Yeah,
online.
It is coming to that, isn't it? This is the big thing for now with all our technology, moving so fast as well. So, cybersecurity is huge,
Yeah, I mean, scammers are always getting more clever. I don't know how, but, and then cybersecurity is constantly having to update their servers to stop all these ransomware attacks and scams going around in Bitcoin. Just gets crazy.
Definitely. But it's also our time, right, in terms of what being developed and our laws can't keep up with the speed. That's the thing, right? It takes a little while for it to become law and stuff like that. By that time, new things have developed, right? Yeah, so they have to find a way to speed up those kind of things and of course everybody needs data to be able to put into a guiding kind of regulations or principle, whatever.
Yeah, all the time. Things are changing all the time.
Yeah, definitely. And you know, uh, it's like you have to look at both sides of things, right? I know there's a lot of studies being done now with the banks and the crypto side of things. So that we'll see in another year, and that's how long it takes. And with the laws and stuff, they of course every government is trying to see where they can also look at the gains and the loss of the crypto and how can they tax it and those kind of things, right? And how can basically trace so and enforce.
Yeah, that's when it gets very messy, and the government wants to always tax everything all the time.
Yeah.
And taxing people constantly to the point where it's like, I just want to make people go broke.
Yeah,
You know
have to
that?
get there first, right? Get out first, a
Yeah.
couple millions first.
I mean, here in Australia, it seems the more you earn, the more the government wants to take from you. And you work very hard for your paycheck, and it's like, we want to take our cut. That's
I think,
I don't know.
what is Australia? Is it the progressive type of tax thing? Because of course, I think you're
so.
kind of similar to us, right? Which is like the
Yeah,
next dollar kind of thing. How we tax on the tax
something
bracket.
like that.
Yeah.
See, I'm not an accountant. I wouldn't know all
Of
this
course,
stuff,
me
but
too.
yeah, at least that's what I've observed
Mhm.
and what I've seen.
But and our side of things good to like, it like the tax with the corporations is of course a lower usually.
Do you think corporations, even mining corporations, should pay more tax than the middle class?
Well, it depends. I mean, if the government usually like gives that break because they want to stimulate the economy so they can hire, get people working, right? And also the company, if they're successful, then they can bring more. And so it's a kind of give and take on that side of things too, right? And a lot of people, of course, the way it works in the past is, okay, so if we give a little more tax break to the corporation, maybe they'll have, the money to also hire, more people, and so put more people into work and so on, right?
Yeah, well, that's it. The more people working, the better. But I'd really like to say thank you for joining the Stephen Shields radio show. I think it's late where you are.
Yeah, well, it's 9:35. I'm on the Pacific side, so PST time or Pacific Daylight nowadays, or whatever the standards nowadays. But it's good to, of course, chat with you and keep up the good work, and congrats on your 300. So
thank you, and take care where you are. And who knows if you come to Australia? I'd love to visit Canada in the future.
Perhaps December or January, definitely. Yeah. All right, but take care, okay, dear?
You too. Bye. Okay, that was Sonia. That was fantastic. To have Sonia on the Stephen Shields radio show in Sydney, Australia, on this beautiful Saturday morning. Saturday afternoon it is. So yeah, it does go to show that when there is a vision for a company like Tesla to, see a future in the space race, man, that's an amazing feeling. Really is an amazing feeling for an entrepreneur to be able to, look at ways and innovations to find success. That. And I feel that, no matter how hard the days get, the time gets, how hard life gets. When you do have a purpose and you want to overcome negative energy, you can when you put your mind to it. I feel that when you live your life in a high vibrational state, things open up for you, especially in your business, in your life as well, and in your lifetime. I guess it's all about finding who you are to be the best that you can be, spiritually, emotionally, physically, financially, and live life in abundance. Because it's all about generating that abundance cycle as well. And finding that, hey, what I do and what I stand by is who I want to be. To be successful, you've got to get out there. You've got to overcome the fear of failure, the fear of rejection. You've got to keep knocking on those doors. Just keep knocking on those doors. No matter how much rejection you have, you just keep knocking on those doors, and one day you will get that yes. When you get that yes, it's the best feeling in life. And then it's time to celebrate, have a party, celebrate, party, travel, celebrate, manifest as well. I guess when I finished my bachelor's degree in music, there were times where I struggled, and I thought about quitting myself. Sometimes we all go through that, where when the going gets tough, we feel like quitting. And I'll be honest, I felt like to quit. Apologise about the background noise. It's just a bit windy. Just got the windows open to keep the air inside the house. I thought about quitting, but I just proved that, hey, I am loyal to the work that I do, because you just keep showing up, and that's all it is. You just keep showing up every single day as an entrepreneur. You just keep showing up. Because I guess it's very rewarding when you look at successful entrepreneurs like Elon Musk, who basically had a vision for SpaceX. Multiple failures. There were multiple rocket launches, and it just exploded. When there's potential for someone, when there's that vision, and it's going to work, it will get there. It really will get there. As I sit here, basically just share my thoughts. to the audience who's just stopping by or just want to listen in or want to be on the Stephen Shields radio show and get to introduce yourself. When there's the time for success in life, it's a time to just keep going. And that's all you can do, is just keep going as well. So that's how it is, We live in a capitalistic society where there's, everything's got to be done by paperwork, I've noticed these days. But no matter how much paperwork's going to get in the way or get involved, and you want something, you will go and get it. You will go and achieve it. You will go and achieve your goals and your desires. Whether that would be in business, in studying, that's what you will achieve. Because you know that you can do it. When you know that you have the potential to step out of your comfort zone, you go get it. You just keep going in life. Just remember that, as quoted by Stephen Shields, just keep going. And that's all you can do. And make sure, learn from our failures. We all learn from our mistakes. And make sure, if we make a mistake, don't beat yourself up over it. There's been times for myself where I've been too hard on myself. I've struggled in life, and we all have our struggles. But just think about it like this: just keep going. All right? Repeat that to yourself. Just keep going. Because that's what I want. I want you to be successful for yourself. Overcoming negative energy is very important. Overcoming bad influences is important. Bad influences get you nowhere. You're an energy drainer. They are what I call useless eaters. They are useless eaters. Jealous. They don't care. They only care about themselves. And you find your way. You find your purpose. You find where you want to be in the next 5 or 10 years' time. you find that pathway to success in where you're going. Because where you're going as an entrepreneur, you're going to be the successful one. Although, yes, the economy, is in a hard place, is in a down spot at the moment. The stock market is down. But don't let that stop you from being you and being who you are. Is being the best that you can be in life, in general. When I do the Stephen Shields radio show, I enjoy, talking about how topics of what's going on. I say things how I say it. I'm straight up forward with you. I don't talk bullshit. I don't talk crap. I'm just going to be purely honest. I mean, I guess there are days that, I get tired. But you know what? Tomorrow is a new day. Tomorrow will be a better day after a bad day. And that's what it is. Look at ways to drive your success. Feel like you are successful in the present moment. Feel that you are already successful right here, right now, in life. Because there's two options. There's one, can complain, bitch and moan about it, or two, get out, start creating, and prove the haters wrong in general. Prove the haters wrong. Okay? Because you are you, I am me, and I will keep going and going and going. I want to say thank you for everyone who stopped by or listened in on the Stephen Shields radio show right now. Please like, share, and subscribe to the podcast, and turn on your notifications wherever you get a new episode every Friday at 6 p.m. Sydney, Australia time. Really wonderful to have a show right now. Take care, everyone, and bye for now.